Masturbation just isn't enough, and you need bigger forearms so you can feel more masculine and have giant arms. Well, good news, I have 5 of my favorite forearm exercises, and none of them involve flicking the bean. What? Let's go check them out. You might already know this, but big arms are the unlock to everything you've ever wanted in your life. A new career, a new girlfriend, a new boyfriend, a new family, a trip on the Blue Origin rocket to the edge of space. You can have all of them with jacked arms. And if you want to get juicy forearms, there are 2 ways to do it. One way is the old-fashioned way. That's right, the M word, the thing you do online by yourself with the websites you're not supposed to go to in the evening and in the morning, sometimes just after lunch. But the other way is to actually train your forearms. If you want bigger forearms, I promise you, filling them out is going to make everything about you look better. You'll feel better. You're going to be awesome. You're going to have friends. This intro is way too long. Mike, shut up and show us your top 5 favorite forearm exercises. You got it. The first exercise on my list is the seated 2 arm at a time dumbbell wrist curl. One thing that really helps in wrist curl and in forearm training is really accentuating, at least for the first few months that you train, that peak contraction just to connect with your muscles. It's helped me a ton because I used to need a lot of volume on these, but now I need much less because I'm just better at contracting that musculature. Peak hold for a second, and then a nice slow eccentric lowering of the weight until they're just at the edge of your fingertips, and then back up and again. You can use any range of weights for this, but in my typical experience with almost all of these exercises, sets of 15 to 30 repetitions per set are really where it's at. Why? The range of motion is so small. The total amount of time spent per repetition on forearms is tiny. If you think about, well, 5 reps in the squat can get you to grow muscle, but if you time out 5 reps in the squat, that's like 25 seconds. And if you do these reps, that's like 20 reps of wrist curls. So sets of 15 and above are usually very good. Anything below that ends up being heavy and weird and kind of feels strange on your wrist. It doesn't give you a pump. It doesn't get you very sore. So my best advice for all these exercises, go light. And for this exercise, it's no exception. My next favorite forearm exercise, or one that gets the job done anyway, is the barbell wrist curl. I prefer to do it in a power rack because it's the most pathetic small muscle of the human body, which no one cares about. And then you occupy the rack for competitive power lifters and peach gang muscle mommies, the people that really need to be using the rack. I kid, of course, but if you're a trillionaire like me and you own one of 500 of your own gyms in every municipality in the world, you can afford to do this sort of thing. Let's talk about this exercise. There's not a lot of glamour to this exercise, and it's done almost exactly like our last exercise, except with a barbell. The thing I would say that's challenging about this exercise is you don't want any friction of the barbell rubbing up against your thighs. So you're gonna do this thing where you come forward with your hips just enough to let the barbell hang. You're gonna go all the way down until it's on your tippy fingers, and you're gonna come up for a 1-second pause at the top, and that's basically the barbell wrist curl. And this setup is excellent for myo reps. Do as many of these as you can, rest 2 to 3 seconds, do as many as you can, rest 2 or 3 seconds, do 2 or 3 rounds like that, rest a minute, do that several times. Your forearms can take a huge beating, and they need a bunch of reps, and they need a bunch of failure proximity. So don't just do 3 sets of 8 and leave the gym. A bunch of sets of total per set with all the myo reps in there, 15 to 25 reps, you'll be money. If you have a Freemotion dual cable cross machine, you are in luck because you can purchase a crossbar, attach it to both ends, and do the Freemotion straight bar wrist curl. What? That sounds ridiculous. Why? Mike, you're an idiot. You're short, you're balding, you're in your 40s, you're Jewish on top of that. Not an insult, but it could be. Have you just gone insane? Why not just do regular cable wrist curls? Well, a good cable attachment you could do. The problem is a lot of cable attachments on a regular cable station have a lot of friction when you try to spin the bar. But with this attachment, we have almost none. This is an exercise I love. It's a nice thick bar, and I'm able to just get a really good purchase on it. It's well knurled, and I'm able to crunch at the top and do a real big stretch at the bottom. It sits in a mid-range. It's perfect for myo reps. This is a phenomenal, phenomenal way to train forearms. And here, why so much variation? Couldn't you just do one of these? You could, but you get bored, your body gets used to the same thing. So exercises like this, and the one we have after, are really good things to throw in your program every now and again to switch things up, keep you fresh mentally, keep you fresh physically, keep your forearms growing and engorged with blood, veins, and the good girl, bad girl machine's like, oh my God, like your forearms look like two giant. Well, you know what she's gonna say. Exercise number 4 is the one-arm bench wrist curl. This one's really cool because it allows you to experience significantly more tension at the stretch most of the other movements do. And that's really awesome because it probably grows you more. It also allows you to really maintain an awesome mind-muscle connection because it isolates everything out. You can only focus on your forearms. Make sure that you're going all the way down for a deep stretch. But as you come up, you don't have to come all the way up. You could just stop right at parallel and come right back down. Sets of 15 to 25 reps are really, really good here on a first set. But what I like to do is do whichever arm for me is the weaker arm. My right hand, for obvious reasons, has bigger forearms. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do my left first. Let's say I get 17 reps. Immediately with no rest, I pass over to my right, 17 reps. Immediately with no rest, I pass over and do however many reps I can with that left, and back and forth and back and forth. Why? One, the weaker arm anchors the repetitions and makes sure that it gets closer to failure because it's more capable, and thus over time it'll balance out your forearm size. Another thing is, while one forearm is resting, the other one is working, and vice versa, which is super cool because then you can squish a lot of time down when, as soon as you get the dumbbell in your hands for this exercise, you are working, either with one arm or the other arm. What I like to do, my last tip, is as I'm working out my forearms, if a guy, especially, or maybe a girl walks by that I happen to like and they make accidental eye contact with me, which you never see me in public, never do, I like to do a couple things. Fucking like, what's up? Give him one of those, or just one of these. Or my favorite, the double wink. Or my personal, absolute favorite, the cold stare as they walk by. Ready? It creeps people out. Last forearm exercise that I have to share with you guys is what I call the bar push-off. It's a weird exercise. It's weird. You're gonna get stares at the gym. People are gonna ask you questions. You're not gonna know how to answer them. Just send those people to our YouTube and maybe we'll just monetize. I don't know how that helps you, but at least you don't have to explain a weird exercise. But I do. Jesus, here we go. This exercise, you basically get into a push-up position and you press off of a bar that's somewhere between knee height and kind of upper tummy height, depending on how strong you are or how blasted your forearms are already from all the other extracurricular stuff you've been doing. You know what I'm talking about. You're gonna do a partial rep to a really deep stretch, and you're gonna come back up about the midway point. After the midway point, you either slip off the bar or there's basically no tension. So it's these weird half reps you're doing at the full stretch, midway point, full stretch, midway point. If you hold that full stretch for a second or two, it really helps. The good news is tension at a very good stretch. The not so great weird news is that counting reps is kind of weird. You don't really know if it's a rep or not. So what I would recommend is this. Choose a total number of reps that is typical of your forearm workouts. Let's say earlier in the week you did some dumbbell wrist curls. I got 62 total reps on for all sets. Set a priority of 60 repetitions, and with as many myo-rep breaks, 5-second breaks or so between sets, get 60 total done. You don't even have to split these up into sets. And make sure you're really milking that eccentric and milking that bottom stretch for a few seconds. That is gonna get you crazy pumped. How do you periodize this and progress through it? Add reps every time. 60 in week 1, 65 in week 2, 70 total in week 3, and so on and so forth. Is this something you do all the time? No. If you're bored and just tired of doing all the other forearm stuff, this thing rips and it's actually quite effective. Make sure you're nice and stable so you don't slip off the bar and embarrass yourself in front of muscle mommy. But if you do embarrass yourself, just act like you're really, really upset so she'll come over and cuddle you. Folks, those are some of my favorite forearm exercises. Feel free to try them. Try myo-reps, try myo-rep matching, try different reps, try different sets. One quick tip is you just don't need a lot of rest between forearm training sets. As soon as your forearms aren't so pumped out of their mind and so crampy and so full of lactic acid that you can't contract your hand, you're good to go. Really, 5 or 10 seconds, maybe 15 seconds rest between sets is awesome for most of these cases. And the best news is You're gonna get vascular, you're gonna get better endurance, and then that one hobby you love to do that you do all by yourself, you're gonna be better at it. Go, do that hobby, not on YouTube, another kind of tube. See you guys over there.